So if I would talk to my younger self, the younger Riley, I would say, focus on yourself, focus on loving yourself first. Don't allow people to use you. Don't allow people to tell you who you are. My boyfriend left me for my ex-boyfriend. God, I just thought about this. When I tell this story, I forget to tell people how we met, which is hilarious. We met because I was on a date with a guy that I had been dating for a year. It wasn't a date, we were just at dinner. But we'd broke up and it was on Halloween. And the waiter, which was actually what I thought was the waiter, was the manager. And he had half of his face was painted in like gore. And he brought me a glass of champagne. And I was on a date with, well, not a date, I was out to dinner for Halloween with my ex-boyfriend. And so when I went to the restroom, he asked the guy, he's like, are you guys dating? And my ex was like, no. And then he's like, are you trying to get to know her? He's like, no, we're not together at all. He came back with one of those booklets that you put the check in, and he said, this is for her. And so when I came back, I said, what's this check doing here already? We haven't even eaten. And he's just like, the guy put that there, the waiter, he's like, put this there and said, it's for her. I said, oh, how does that make you feel? You know, that we used to date? And he's like, I think it's disrespectful. I'm like, you did? Because I later found out that he was lying because he told him, like, no, we're not together. I pretended to throw the number in the trash. I did not. I memorized the number. Wow. And then I texted him and we went to brunch the next day, and it was a whirlwind romance, and we ended up we were just so in love. It was great at first because it was a breath of fresh air. I just finished dating a guy that I was friendly with, but we just knew that it wasn't going to work out. And here comes this guy that comes in, and he's just such a gentleman. He's so much fun. He was different than what I was used to. I'm always kind of like glamorous and dressed up and whatever. And he was very laid back. So I found myself wearing like cargo pants more, just so we like, you know, kind of matched each other's vibe a little bit. I had fun with him. Guys that I've dated that were bisexual, which was only 2, but those 2 guys that I dated that were bisexual, I think they liked the idea of dating me because it kind of felt like, it still felt like tradition, but they could still like, you know, be, I don't know, like it was very interesting. But I think in the end, they were both just gay, honestly. And maybe they, you know, I don't want to like, you know, discount the bi community or whatever. But when I think back now, the person that I am today could never have dated either of them. After that relationship, I was single for 4 years. And I said, maybe I'm not supposed to be, maybe God's trying to tell me, you're not supposed to be in a relationship, so maybe you just need to focus on your career. And as soon as I did that, every single thing elevated. I always talk about self-esteem, right? Self-esteem drives every single thing that you do. Think about self-esteem. Self-esteem is, to me, more important. How you see yourself determines the kind of jobs you go for. It determines how you dress yourself. It determines the kind of people you hang around. It determines the kind of people that you date. How you see yourself determines how you treat other people. It determines, you never see someone who's completely, you know, sees themselves in a great way, that loves themselves and really is just a happy person being mean to other people. How you see yourself determines how you treat other people, because, you know, what they say, misery loves company, but only if that company is miserable too. So if you're miserable within yourself, you want everybody else around you to be that way, and you spew that onto other people. But it also drives how you move about the world. You know, it determines how you love, who you love, and the things that you go for, that you want in life, that you think that you deserve, but also all the things that you don't want. How you move about the world, how you see yourself. It's every single thing. Every single thing you do in life is a reflection of how you see yourself. I learned what I want in a relationship. I also learned what I don't want. I learned how to love myself. We talked about that. I learned the kind of dynamic I want to have in relationships. I for some reason, used to attract one-sided relationships. I'm giving so much of myself, way too much of me. I think about how much time I wasted in my 20s and 30s and gave so much of myself to people that didn't deserve it, didn't know what to do with it, didn't even recognize it or acknowledge it. I learned that there's no such thing in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, as unconditional love. I don't believe in unconditional love. I believe there are conditions. I think there's conditions to every, like you're not gonna sit around in a relationship that's just like, oh, I love you. I'm just gonna like love you unconditionally, no matter what you do to me. What it does is it sends a message to the person that you can completely shit all over me. You can do whatever you want, and I'm just gonna love you, and I'm just gonna be here, and so I'm gonna love you unconditionally, no matter what you do. I'm gonna love you. No, because if love is a choice, love is a choice. Love is not a feeling. It is a choice. You choose to love people. You know, truly loving somebody, you choose that. There are conditions to that. So if I would talk to my younger self, the younger Riley, I would say, focus on yourself, focus on loving yourself first. Don't allow people to use you. Don't allow people to tell you who you are. Show people who you are. You determine who you are, whatever that is, you know.